I know I said I wasn't going to do any videos, but I mean, I discovered transdimensional time, right? How could I not at least really talk about it for a second? So this was one of the many discoveries from today, but I want to tell you how it works. So real quick, let me just let you look at this. Okay, so remember the other night when we had this? When I was giving you the fractal layout of the stumps, like of the architecture of reality, the architecture of infinity. And I had went through and put it through the principles of that with the reality of mathematics. And then here we go. So there's that. So I was thinking about how does this relate to time? Because I saw that this design, the fractal itself, the spheres are different, which made me think the cycles of time. And that's why everything always is like so messed up in our time cycles, because they're not linear at all. They're not linear transdimensionally. So then I thought, what would happen if we scaled these over cycles of time and overlap them to understand how to look at our scales of history and things of that nature? But I was just looking at the architecture itself tells us the cycles of time. The architecture of the fractal of reality tells us how reality goes through the cycle, through the fractal itself. And then I started thinking about my warp engine design and my craft. And part of the thing, one of the other things I still had to figure out was how to map out transdimensionally how we phase through the membranes. And what I didn't realize until tonight is every time, so these are like different realms right here. You can see this. This is the fractal that we live in, okay? But when you phase through these different realms, so like say if I was going from inside this blue circle to the purple circle, this purple circle is in a different time than the blue circle and up and down. So when you move through the membrane itself, you're moving through time because you're in a different position in the fractal itself. Does that make sense? The other thing I did today here, sorry. So then when I was looking at this architecture, and I made that short little video earlier, what I was trying to explain to you when I was saying there's 5 cycles to the fractal, all right? What's the cube, the Metatronic cube I keep talking about? That's 4, right? 4. What breaks through it? It's the rebirth. It's the transfiguration of the reality. It's the rebirth and resurrection is a literal built-in cycle from the architecture of our fractal reality. It's what I'm always talking about. Upward energy flow or downward siphoning energy, right? The cube is the siphon. Metatron's cube. Why do you think they wear the cubes on their head? Why are the cubes all around the world in the places of power? Why is there a cube at Mecca people go around? It's the cube, guys. It's the freaking cube. It's literally, once the cube is completely constructed, because we're in the 4 right now, we're moving into the 5 very, very, very soon, and that is the resurrection spiral. And it's crazy because the way I discovered this was so this video is on my page, and what it is, it's a Russian scientist experiment where they have plasma in a complete vacuum, nothing else is in it, and out of nowhere a spiral starts to form, and it literally starts to create a universe inside there when there's nothing else in it. And the scientist went in a room for 3 days and shut the door and didn't come out for 3 days because it blew his mind that all of a sudden, out of nothingness, this resurrection spiral, it always starts. It's everywhere. It's the structure. It's the architecture of the universe. That is this same spiral. And this proves that the event that I keep talking about is going to come mathematically. So if anyone gives you crap anymore, you can just send them this. And you can just tell them, when we look at things through transdimensional time lens, we actually see that it's a part of our fractal architecture. So the event is actually going to happen. And there's 5 cycles because we go into the 5th, which is our natural state, which is what I keep saying. Hope you have a great night. We'll talk about some of this stuff a little bit later, but I was just excited because I thought it was cool. Here's the other thing. I already had this monologue planned to go about, I don't know, if you scroll all the way back, you'll see it says coming soon. That was like a month or 6 weeks ago or something, but I hadn't actually written it all the way out, and I still have to go back and find some stuff and do it. But I had already written it out, and what this video is going to be about, now it's going to be ridiculously expanded, but it was going to be about whenever you pass away and we leave these, when we leave these bodies and we go to that darkness, the void. That's where you go first when you pass, and then you go elsewhere. But when you're in that darkness and void, I believe that is in the exact same type of awareness space, that the same effects as this plasma experiment. It works the same way because it's the architecture of the universe. It goes in these 5 cycles, so it's impossible not to come back. It's in the architecture. But anyways, what I'm going to talk about is the living resurrection in the now, and how it's literally in the architecture of our reality, and it's going to be pretty cool. But I've told you a lot of the stuff here, but I was just so excited I wanted to tell you. Hope you have a great night. Namaste.